Ooh, those ecom season teas are fire. In fact, ecom season has saved my life many times. I even got it over here on my rig for skydiving.
That's a write-off.
That's a write-off?
Yeah.
So people know me as the e-commerce guy, the guy who built one of the biggest YouTube channels, e-commerce related. I've run up a bunch of different stores, built a few really cool different brands inside that space, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. What a lot of people don't know is what I've done in terms of the advertising agency side of things. So today I'm gonna kind of run you through a little bit, talking about like calls I'm doing with clients, new clients we're onboarding, and like the type of businesses that we work with. But I've built a 7-figure advertising agency in the last 16 months, and I hit that 7-figure range a lot sooner. A lot of that was because people already know who I am, and when I started working with other people and saying, hey, if you want to scale a brand, obviously the lead source is already there. However, it's been really cool to build systems, build up a team of 1 people, 2 people, 5 people, 10 people, 19 people, and really build up that advertising agency and have a really cool plug and play system where I can drop in and get help with not only my own brands and stuff and have systems to automate that, but also do the same thing for the very specific type of client that we work with, usually inside the e-commerce space. So today, I'm gonna show you that. 3 keys to your new car. Tanner's over here wearing a bulletproof vest. Stand up for everybody.
Double cap on me, son.
I kind of want to try shooting you with something, maybe not like a real gun, but I want to see how well that actually works. Look at these loud shoes. These things yell. These are loud. Most profitable marketing platform for you in the last 30 days. Go.
I would have to be, if I was being strictly honest, probably Gmail service providers.
Anyways, looks like Tanner's headed off. Where are you going? Gym? Home? Different state? Last time you said I'm going to the gym, and then next thing I know I get a text from him driving some crazy Lamborghini Aventador in the middle of the mountains. Definitely not here in Puerto Rico.
It's not a huge deal.
All right, time to get on a quick call. So I'm waiting for this call. This person's a couple minutes late. It is a secondary call with a pretty large brand. So we work inside of our agency with a couple of brands that come to us that already do a few $1,000,000 a year. The biggest one I think had clocked 4-point-something million in gross revenue with a really good margin. A lot of that was organic sales. They hadn't really touched the paid ad side. This person I think is doing a little bit more than that. I'm calling to get a little bit of clarity. Oh, and my flashlight just turned on. But it should be really interesting because when you take something that's already working and you implement just a couple systems, a couple new strategies, and just touch up the ads, it's like a really easy, instantaneous systemizing base. So like for an example, someone comes to us doing $300,000 a month, okay, in gross revenue. Within a week, we can usually add 10 to 30,000 a month in profit without even touching the ads. That's like base level systemizing, upsells, email marketing, before we even put them in touch with better suppliers, stuff like that. There's a lot of cool stuff we can do. And I'm excited to see what they already have going on. This is kind of an audit call, to say the least. We already know that we probably want to work with them. I'm going through a couple of deeper details. Our client manager, Dennis, had already gone through a call with them. Let's call our discovery call. Going through all the specifics, kind of seeing what's going on. And now since they're a larger client and going to be doing more than just the standard person that starts with us, I wanted to go through that as well with them and make sure it would be a good fit, since it'd be a lot more time on our end invested. So that is my final alarm going off for the call. So I'm gonna give them a buzz real quick, but nonetheless, it's been a lot of fun, and the agency's going well. So we're scaling some stuff inside of there, taking medium to small retainers, but a nice percentage of profit. So it's been doing really good. All right, post-call update went really well. Definitely want to be working with that brand. They're doing some really weird stuff in terms of marketing. Like they've tried some Pinterest ads, didn't work. Google ads didn't work, but they never really tapped any mainstream medias. Facebook, never really got TikTok going yet. So we're gonna be doing a lot of specific stuff on that. And I wanted to answer something real quick. A lot of people ask why we have the certain structures that we do inside the agency and why we even bother working with other people's stuff. Number one is because we're really good at it, and when we can focus on just like one thing, and for me, I have like really, really good skills with just the advertising. So we kind of build a system for everything, but then we can just plug and play and drop stuff in. And yes, we could technically do it for our own stores, and we do, but it's also for diversity. So for an example, with Facebook especially, everybody always runs into different ad account problems, and we're not excluded from that. And TikTok is obviously a lot better, but when you have all these different ad accounts that all optimize differently, different people, different payment processing, and it builds a better system where even if a couple things go down, it doesn't really affect us much. And we do what we can to help our clients get things back up if something does go down. We've had people lose their ad accounts all the time. We've had, especially on Facebook, we've had a couple people lose their merchant processing because they weren't handling support the right way. So a few little details like that, but it's a really cool diversity for us. And so for an example, a client like them, they're doing, actually I can't say, but a little bit over that 4.5 million that one of our other largest clients was doing, a little bit over that. We have the potential as an agency, when they're making like a 25% net margin right now, maybe 30, we can come in there, take probably an $8,000 to $10,000 retainer based on the work volume that we're going to be doing for them, and we're going to give them an exact plan and get on a third call. But anyways, taking that retainer and then taking 20% of the net profits. right? So not of gross revenue, obviously that's their entire margin, but let's say they're already doing $60,000 a month, okay, in profit at least. So if we're taking 20% of that, that's whatever that is, that's $12,000, $13,000 right away. And then as we instantly, I'd like to double that in the first 60 days. It might sound ambitious. I really don't think it is. And that's before you really start aggressively scaling paid marketing. So that's where we as a business can very easily, and obviously that's, we don't always work with clients like that, but you can very quickly see how that profit share really adds up for us and how we're able to pay our team members really well. And we give our media buyers a ton of that. They get a percentage, they're directly tied to results. And we have a lot of expenses, a lot of payroll and whatnot, but that's how we can make a ton of money as an agency. And so I just wanted to point that out. I'm really proud of what we've done inside the agency and every single person inside of there. We've definitely had to fire multiple people, media buyers who just are not paying attention to things, and that's normal business stuff. But our core team is literally just so fantastic. Like I don't even know what else to say about it. It's just like I just am so appreciative for them. So it's been awesome. And for everybody on here who's been inquiring and asking questions about the agency, we made a new website for it. Our first full site that just kind of breaks down a little bit of specifics. We kind of refreshed it. So you can check that out linked below if you want to work with us in some way. We're moving more towards just higher ticket clients. So either people who have a bigger budget to start with or people who already have something existing with some sort of sales flow. But definitely click the link, at least watch a quick little video. You can book a free call, talk to us, see exactly what we look for. There's a lot of applications that get rejected for the agency just because it's kind of, I don't want to say it's a specific niche of client that we look for. It's a niche type of client, so it's like a very specific setup. And that setup is something where we know we can just plug and play, get it going, and it's pretty quick and relatively reliable in terms of speed. Sometimes it takes 30 days to find a winning product for someone starting from scratch. Sometimes it can take 3 months. It's just the name of the game, it depends. And doing our transition over to TikTok has helped exponentially in terms of product testing. So that's been great. You can find a ton more information on that link below. But other than that, I've got to go make this plan outline, some very specifics, and then call back that client and run through exactly what we're gonna do now that I have all of the information needed to make a quick plan. So that is what's going on here today. And then I'm headed off to the gym. It's about noon, been working for 4 or 5 hours, and it's been great. And yeah, that's it. Other than that, it is an absolutely gorgeous day out. Might go hit the beach later and read a book. I got a ton of new ones that just came in, so excited to start going through those. Okay, I still don't have my mic yet, so we're using my phone. I thought it would be really important to outline the business systems side of things and how we've combated a lot of the issues that every business faces, and ours are a little bit unique to the e-commerce space and the advertising space. So for example, we have had multiple clients that turn into legal issues, and problems like that cause you to have to readjust at some point how you operate on the front end. And so what I've noticed, first of all, a lot of business owners and people who are just getting into space, and whether it's entrepreneurship or whatever, they're really focused on just getting a customer. The customer is the only thing that matters, and that's true. But the problem is to focus on then getting a new customer and a new one and a new one, and not retaining or reselling to and increasing what's known as the LTV, the lifetime value of a current customer. And in an agency setting, I don't care if it's social media marketing like Ty Lopez did for restaurants, or you have a doctor's office that you're getting leads for. It literally doesn't matter. If you only work with them for 1 month, it's not worth your time. And I'll tell you why. The first 30 to 60 days of any client onboarding process is 10 to 20 times more work, especially in the e-commerce space. So we have 2 types of branches inside of our agency. There's people who are starting from scratch, meaning we basically build the entire business for them. That part's a lot of work. We'll talk about it in a second. The other side is the scaling side, where people come to us to do 2 things: scale and build systems, okay? Both of those are equally as important. We've had a ton of clients who and maybe they went through my e-commerce course a year ago, tried a couple products, finally something pops, and 60 days later, they're doing a couple $100,000 a month in sales, which is great. They're making a bunch of money, but they have no idea how to build a system in the business, how to sustain it for the long run, how to take care of customers, do emails, do upsells, manage the health of a MID, an MID, also known as your payment processing merchant account, a real one, not Shopify Payments or Stripe or PayPal, et cetera. How to even get those connections, working with private suppliers. There's a bunch of different variables. So we help them build systems, and then we scale the ads. So it also automates it for them. So those are the 2 branches, right? And we've had multiple people, a lot of people move from the one side into the other. That's our goal. That's the only reason that initial side exists, because it makes no sense with the now $2,000 plus retainer that we charge for clients starting from scratch. It makes no sense. And by the way, for anybody booking a call with the link down below and talking to our client manager, they'll give you the retainer price based on your conversation. It won't change much. It's usually around a very specific range, depending on what we have to do. So for some clients, we build a store. For some, we're doing everything, but it's a full management service. We do video ads, we do all the ad copyright. That's stuff that takes time, and we have a lot of cost on that. The only reason that side exists is for the future potential of clients sticking with with us long enough and actually doing the business so that we can then move them over into the scaling. So we take a smaller retainer and a percentage of the profits. And that percentage, for an example, I'll give you a number. One lady came to us, probably in her mid-30s, first e-commerce store that started working. She was doing $2,000 a day in sales, so $60,000 a month, but her profit margin was 2%. Okay. And at the time, PayPal was holding whatever percentage of it was like 5% or something of sales. I think PayPal was holding 25%, but based out of her total sales volume, it accumulated for 5%. That's what it accounted for. So she's actually losing money, and her run rate was negative every single day. And so what we did is we came in there. The first 2 weeks of the first month were systems. Didn't even really touch the ads. I was messing around with audiences just to get a sense of like where the lifeblood was and which things I knew would pop quicker. So I had all that dialed in just on Facebook. I was one working on the ads. This is probably a year ago. One of the first bigger clients that like we really scaled quick. And then that we got the margin to 18%. So like for me, I always want to be in that 20 to 25 range. Without that, it makes scaling really hard, paying for other systems really hard. It's just like more annoying. So by the end of that second or third week, margin was up past 15, still going up every single couple of days. You got to wait a little bit to split test. Then I dumped on the traffic. By the end of the first month, within 31 full days, she was doing $35,000 a day. What used to take her 15 days with an 18% margin. So now the business is on track as it can, let's say it doesn't even grow anymore. It was growing every single day. On track for well over $1 million a month with $200,000 a month in profit. She's got a business that's worth $8 million at least because it's making $2 million plus a year. And for some of our clients, we could help them assist with selling the business. We have all those resources and brokers who have all the clientele to buy. But what happened was at the end of the first 30 days, I noticed this happens with multiple clients. They now view what they're paying us as an expense. And while yes, it technically is an expense, if that expense is what got you there and is what's keeping you there, then it's a logical expense. So here's what happened. Oh, sorry, I don't want to work with you guys anymore. I'm just going to handle the ads on my own. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, we made whatever it was, it's probably $35,000 as the company. That's what we netted during that month. But the amount of work that we put in was, I mean, that was nowhere near, the next month should have been 100,000 for us. And then 150, 200 as I scaled aggressively. It was an easy $100,000 a day brand, not a problem. 3 million a month, 30. I mean, again, she would have built a business that's probably worth 15 to $20 million with us doing that in 6 months. Like it was pretty cool. And so she left, but forgot to take me off, or one of us, someone on our team, off the store. And specifically with Order Metrics, which is one of the profit tracking apps we use. We have a couple others we use. But anyways, so we watched that. And of course, what I was doing with the ads is very specific stuff. I was just barely getting into manual bidding, but certain CBO structures and like cost structures. And it was fun, messing with my bid caps and cost caps and just doing what I do with the ads. And I watched the sales and the profit go, and it only took 8 days to go to basically $0 because clearly she had turned off all the ads because none of them were working because she had screwed them all up in some way. So I watched a business and it really hurt because the amount of time that it took, and I wanted to tell that story because it's really important, the amount of time it took versus us just then like getting kind of cut off, it wasn't worth it. So it made us really readjust. We still have debated heavily and don't have this yet, where we make clients sign a 6-month agreement or a 12-month. I don't like that because it's just, it makes it, I don't want to say more difficult up front, but like it also then locks me in. I can tell you that there is equally as many clients that I have kicked the heck out of the advertising agency because I don't want to work with them or they were rude to someone on my team, even though it's usually stuff that was their fault. And I want to kick them out. So forget them, them firing us. I also get rid of clients, and I don't want certain people inside the agency, right? It's quality over quantity. So that's why we're also making our shift in the agency to only higher ticket clients where we manage everything. So that's why our retainers used to be $1,200. That's our fixed cost. But keep in mind, with the $1,200 for the retainer plus percentage of profits, all we're doing is ads. That's all we can afford to pay our media buyers off that retainer, right? And so the client has to deal with the store, the ads, the ad copy, and like the customer support and fulfillment, and like every little piece. And almost nobody, 80+% of people wouldn't properly follow. We have like a mini little video course when clients get onboarded, wouldn't follow what we show in that. And so it made it really difficult to run the ads when not everything else was put in place. So we just cut that off. It's only full management now, and it's been doing a lot better. And so we have a cap of 40 clients. That's a maximum we're willing to work with. As of when I filmed this, we're at like 23, and the number there will probably be around 30 by the time we film this. So we open and close it depending on what's going on. Again, you can click the link below and book a free call and just talk to us about what we do. Run us through what you're doing, what courses you've gone through. If you try to store, how it's worked, just give us a sense of what's going on, and we'll let you know what's possible, right, in terms of working with us. So we've had clients that also owe us money. and like they just leave. So like there's one snake with a client, I obviously won't name her, but was working with us, paid us the money, and then just left. Okay, that's fine. She's legally able to do that. That's totally fine. And we're like, all right, as unfortunate that is, because that client was going to be a 7-figure profit client, gross profit for our company, And so like there's clients like that. We have other clients, I will name this one, Abraham, whatever, who leave. They leave, never message us again, just take us off everything and never pay us the money they owe. And it's not, we have a contract with clients. It's not really usually worth a legal pursuit. If it was a larger amount, it would be. But that was also a client who I know was just a young kid making money, is maybe 17, 18 years old, living with his parents. And so it's like there's very specific clients that we like to work with now, and we've kind of figured that out and isolated it over the years. So I wanted to kind of just break this down and sit here and talk about it for a minute, because building the agency has been a lot of fun. And it went from like me kind of managing everything for clients to like outsourcing stuff. And then like, okay, I don't want to manage a team. Let's put a manager in place. It's like, it's just been a much better structure. And it's been a lot of fun to run that alongside everything else. It takes a very minimal amount of my time. I have a lot of fun continuing to teach and train and work with the media buyers inside of there on new advertising strategies. My involvement in the company is mostly in higher ticket client acquisition, as well as over on the media buying side for those scaling clients, right? So when we have clients that transition from starting from scratch, we start them off on TikTok now. That's the way we start. We use Facebook for further scaling alongside of TikTok. Some great diversity, especially since Facebook has more ad account problems. However, I oversee that scaling. So as clients come to us scaling, cool. I'm jumping in there, talking to the media buyers. I'm doing a lot of stuff myself inside the ad account, because I enjoy that too. And like I got plenty of time to do it. And then when they're starting from scratch, media buyers get to go on, find the product, get the sales up, then we go over to that scaling, right? It's kind of that like 2-step system. And some people start at the second step. So it's been really fun, but that's been specifically like the structure behind the company. Now, as for how with building it, it's been really cool because I already have the lead source here. About 60% of the business comes from Instagram and YouTube. The rest is referrals. And a lot of our clients too end up, once they're, usually it's like after 6 months of consistency and results, we don't even really recommend it to them. We probably should from a business perspective for increasing that LTV. But some of our clients will start a second store. Our biggest one has 4 with us. So while that's still considered one client for our agency, they have 4 separate stores. 3 of them are working really well, and the other one's a newer one that's still, we're testing. But that's just reinvesting some, not even all of the profits into new things, and they're automating each of it through the full management service. So it's been a lot of fun building the agency, and from a 6-figure perspective, that was hit really quickly because I already had the lead source. So, I understand that some people like, you're starting an agency. Where do you start? How do you start? Build an audience, talk about stuff. I never intended to have an agency. Like that wasn't my thing. But then I realized I could use my skills and eventually build a team and diversify out. Because if I have an ad account, I've talked about this before, I put a video up this month, $1 million in 10 days, and then the ad account goes down. Well, there goes my $40 million a year brand, right? And so like ad account problems happen to all of us. And creating some diversity, not only in the platforms you're advertising on, but also then having clients and like working on multiple projects also extends out that diversity, where I also get to work on what I like. I don't have to do the annoying stuff behind a brand that I don't enjoy. I'm not the guy that likes talking to the editor. I don't like doing that. And, I can eventually afford to hire someone inside the brand when it's working to do all of that and manage the manager and stuff. But it's like, I just like to do like one specific piece. And so the agency allows me to do that. And we're doing really well with the clients. So if you're a client inside of there, you already know the structures and systems we have in place. If there's ever a problem, obviously reach out to us. But you're in different group chats, and any resource or industry connections you need, we obviously offer those as well, from suppliers, merchants. It's crazy. So it's been a lot of fun. I just wanted to sit down here and explain a little bit more about the agency, because a lot of people don't really know that I have that. And I'm transitioning my style here on YouTube. For anybody who's been following me here for a while, you will not, and I apologize if this is what you like, you will not ever again on this YouTube channel see a 3 steps to 6 figures on Shopify case study step-by-step blueprint. Like, you just won't see it. And I'll tell you why. I really enjoy making content. I love filming videos, talking about this. I'm gonna have a great time right now. I'm about to go to a gym. I like talking about this stuff, right? But back in the day, I really enjoyed, and this was even up to a couple months ago, I really enjoyed talking about like the 3 best apps we're using that are, getting a really good conversion rate. And I understand that the views might drop on this or what happens. I've never been about the views on the channel. I just want to like focus on the core audience and like talk about what I want to talk about. So if I want to make a video talking about one of my new cars, or the new car I'm looking at right now that I'm going to go rent out on Turo and automate that as well, because I think I can make a freaking probably 60% cash on cash return every single year with that. That's really cool. And I'm also going to have a beautiful 800 wheel horsepower car that I'm going to love to drive too when it's not rented out. So there's like different things I can talk about, and I will. but you just won't see the basic drop shipping stuff. I'm going to be talking more about business systems, what we're doing, scaling the companies. I will talk about the brands that I'm running, maybe do some case studies for clients and whatnot. But the more of that like micro stuff and the tips, you will see over on my Instagram. I'll post stuff replying to questions on my Instagram story. So definitely go follow me over there on Instagram. I answer every single DM, all the comments. I'm on there all the time. I love engaging with you guys. It's a nice, small, simple private page right now. We'll see what happens in the future, but I just enjoy engaging with people. And so if you have questions or want help or want to work with me in some way, Instagram is a great spot to do that. But this is the video breaking down in a little bit of random clips with the call going on and my buddy Tanner, just with what's going on with the agency. And it's been a lot of fun. You know, it started just Facebook and now implementing TikTok, and now we're only letting new clients start with TikTok. We use Facebook as a diversity once TikTok's already working or purely for scaling. So a lot of different things. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm sure there's stuff that I skipped over, forgot to ask, or forgot to answer inside of here. So if you have any questions, just leave it in the comment section down below or hit me up over on Instagram. I'd love to answer a question, about the business or what we're doing inside the agency. It's been a lot of fun. We also have our agency Instagram page. It has more followers than mine, over at Ecom Season. Post a bunch of tips there. So that's like where the business tips are going for e-commerce. If you have an e-commerce store and you want the little tips, go follow the agency page. You know, we're not there to sell you stuff. Most people are not even in line with what we can work with in terms of our agency, but nonetheless, we post free stuff there every single day. So go ahead, check that out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about the new content style. Maybe you hate it, maybe you love it. I like it, so I don't really care, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I'll continue coming at you with videos. They will be less frequent. Yeah, I'm busy doing my stuff, and like these videos also take a little bit more effort. And like I want to put more effort into them. Like I have fun. Hey, let me go travel. Let me actually bring the camera when I go to a meeting. Last night at dinner with a guy who owns a mini real estate syndication, and when I say mini, I mean $300 million. But compared to the guy I was talking to last week, that's small. So it's like I can talk about that stuff and maybe bring the cameras. I build different relationships with people. I obviously don't bring a camera on the first introduction, but just showing you more behind the scenes, right? I think that's super important. A lot of people don't do that. They just kind of close off the curtains and just continue, repeating the same harmony of what they've always been talking about. And while they start doing other things. So, there's people who they continue doing one side of things, like the crypto people, and they only talk about crypto, but in reality, they're spending way more time, way more money over in real estate now or over in this sector. And it's like, I just want to talk about that. So anyways, I'm done rambling. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.